back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about, I think, 10 books that are on my radar or that are really high on my radar, because obviously there are lots of books on my radar that are on my mind and that I want to start, because it's just a never ending cycle of having a new book that you want to read while being in the middle of a book. Matter of fact, having 100 books that you want to read or want to start, or at least want to finish and just know what happened in it while you're in the middle of reading another book. So that is the constant struggle. But right now I feel like I'm in a huge reading mood where I want to read a lot, but I just don't have time to read as much as I want to. So I think I'm just in that stage of thinking about all of the different books that I want to read. So I just wanted to share some of the ones that are really high on my radar. Some of these are really new books that I bought, so not new releases necessarily. I don't think I have any new releases except maybe one on this list, but I do have a lot of books that are new to me because I bought a few books recently. And yeah, so let's just get into it. Most of these are standalones. I think that's just the stage I'm at. I'm not really in the middle of a lot of series, and I don't want to be. So there are 10 books here, and there's one that I don't have physically as yet that is also on my radar. So the first book that I have is, if you hear any movement in the background, that is my puppy Stella. She's nearby, she's somewhere around. But yes, the first book that I have is Migrations. Oh my god, I forgot my hands look so terrible. Anyway, so the first book that I have is Migrations by Charlotte McConaghy. This one I don't know too much about. I've never heard anybody speak about it as far as I could remember, but I did see this, I think, on a list of books when I googled something. Sometimes I just, when I enjoy a book, I google other books like it or with similar themes, or I could have gotten this off of a Goodreads list or something. I can't remember, but I remember being intrigued by it. This one follows a character, or a female main character, who she goes to, I think, Antarctica. Yeah, she goes to Greenland, and she wants to follow the last Arctic terns in the world on what might be their final migration to Antarctica. So we're following her journey and her, I guess, scientific discoveries and all of those things. But what really got me with this prompt was epic and intimate, heartbreaking and galvanizing. Charlotte McConaghy's Migrations is an ode to a disappearing world and a breathtaking page turner about the possibility of hope against all odds. So this one, I don't know, something about it really called to me, and I think it's just the type of literary fiction that I really love, where it follows somebody's journey through something that is external to them. So in this case, migration of these Antarctic terns, but it also follows her journey personally, because we do find out that, you know, some family secrets are discovered along the way and all of those things. So I think it's just a self-discovery story that she comes upon while trying to discover something else, which I really love. And yeah, so I'm really excited about this one. This one is really high on my radar. It might be one of my next few reads. I think in a similar vein, I have this one, which is The Frozen River by Ariel Lawhon. This one I'm not completely sure about. I know there's more of a thrilling aspect. There's more of a thrilling aspect to it, but it follows a woman who is looking for revenge. And I do think it's based on a true story, but there is some type of investigation, and it's just somebody, or our main character, trying to avenge somebody else. I'm interested in it. I've seen this cover a lot, but I don't think I've ever heard anybody speaking about it. So I'm intrigued to see how much I enjoy it when I get into it. And I mean, it's on my high radar, but it's not very high up there. If I had to rank them, this might be maybe number 8, but it's still really high up there. The next one I have is very high on my radar. This one is Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. And yeah, I don't think I've read any of her other novels before, but this, something about the way that this has been described to me, and a lot of people have said don't go into it knowing anything, so that's what I've been doing. I don't have a clue what this is about. I started the audiobook and I just wanted to read it. I really liked the writing, but I think it was something that I wanted to hold in my hands and read, so I ended up getting it physically and I haven't read it yet. But I just, Piranesi's house is no ordinary building. Yeah, that's exactly what I remember from starting the audiobook. I just remember a very vivid description of a house, and that was it. This book comes with a lot of high praise, and I'm just really interested to see what it is. And people describe it as something that you don't understand until the very end, which I love. It's like, yeah, that's the way that I felt with Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. I really, really, really loved this book. This is one that didn't feel as huge to me when I read it, but I have not stopped thinking about it and the ending. I just really, really loved this book, and I loved the way the storytelling progressed, and I was just captivated the whole time, and I wanted to know what was going on. And when we finally found out what was going on, it was just so satisfying. So I feel like the way people describe this book makes me think of this, and this is gold. I love this book, so I'm definitely really excited to pick up Piranesi, and I think I will be picking it up fairly soon. The next one is The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. I've read one book by Adrienne Young before and I really, really liked it. I think it's probably like a 4.25, 4.5 star read. I really enjoyed it. It was Sky in the Deep, which is like a Viking fantasy. I don't think it's necessarily fantasy, maybe more dystopian, but I really enjoyed it, and it was a really good reading experience for me, so I would recommend it, and I would definitely pick up more of her books just based on that first one that I read. So I'm interested. This one I think is her most popular book that she has published, and all I know about it is that there is some type of curse in the Farrow woman's lineage, and I'm not sure if June is trying to break it or if she is trying to figure it out or what, but a lot of people have praised this book and have said that it's like one of their favorite books of all time, and it made its rounds, and I remain intrigued by it. I didn't really care about the hype. The story itself didn't sound fascinating to me, but when I read that other book by her, I really enjoyed it, and so I just want to learn more about her writing and just see if she could get me interested in this story that I don't know if I'm 100% convinced that I'm interested in, if that makes sense. So that's The Unmaking of June Farrow. That one is there. It's probably maybe number 9 or 7 somewhere there. This one I think is really high on my radar right now, which is surprising because I have been adamantly I've been adamantly refusing to read this book, for lack of a better word. I have tried to get away from it, but people will not stop talking about this book. It's been years, and there are some people who, this is, I think, one of those books that are very hit and miss. So some people think it's like a masterpiece, and some people are like, what is this? I don't often find myself intrigued by very polarizing books. I don't really care to find out what side I sit on of the fence, but I started the TV series of this book with my now husband when we were dating. So a few years ago, when it had just come out, we started watching it, and I was enjoying it, and then I hate frustrating characters who just keep hurting each other. That is something that is really hard for me to consume and get behind. I just hate it. I just wish people would communicate and tell their feelings, but I could also respect that that is a lot of people's experiences, even if it's not mine. And that there is validity to it and that a beautiful story could still come from it. So I don't know, something about it this time around, I'm intrigued. I really want to see, not necessarily what Sally Rooney is about. It doesn't really matter to me, but I do want to see how that story was translated here and how it ended, because I still never know. Well, I still don't know. So yeah, Normal People by Sally Rooney is up there. It might be number 2. I'm really I'm just in the mood to read it. I don't know why. So that's Normal People. The next one has also made its rounds. This book is, this bunch of books are decently popular books, I would say. Most of them. So there should be no crazy surprises here. But Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. I also started a TV series for this. I don't think I got past 1 episode, but I really love, oh my gosh, what is her name? Brie Larson. Is it Brie? Yeah. I really love Brie Larson's acting, and I thought she was doing a really good job in that movie. In that show, and I also remember being kind of hooked on her and the main love interest, and I have no idea why I stopped, but I'm glad I did, because now I could enjoy it for myself. I've seen a lot of, specifically, women and girls really love this book, and so I can't see why I would be any different. And now I can picture Brie Larson and that guy that she was with in the show. So yeah, this one isn't, as far as I understand, is just about feminism and women in STEM and overcoming all of the obstacles of being in a male-dominated field in the 1960s. So yeah, I'm definitely really excited to read this one, and I think I'll read this one pretty soon after my current read, which is Divine Rivals, which I'm loving thoroughly. The next one is a romance. So the next 2 actually are romance. Christina Lauren, The Paradise Problem. This one, Christina Lauren and I are fine. I'm not obsessed, nor do I hate their writing. I have read, I think, 3 books by them now. The Unhoneymooners, I DNF, but I was pretty much done with it. I was like 80% through, and I just didn't like the direction the story was taking, so I never really finished that one. I read Love and Other Words, and I liked it. I wasn't obsessed with it, but it was nice. And what was the other one? There's another one, and now my memory is failing me. But yeah, I don't know. I have no true or strong feelings about this author, and this book has been getting a lot of hype in the past, I think, year. So I just saw it and I picked it up because I thought, why not? And I could always go for a cute, fun little romance. This one is about a marriage of convenience, so that the guy could get his inheritance and the girl could get free housing at university. And I just think it's really funny, and I love a funny book, I love a funny show, I love a funny character. I just love anything that will genuinely make me laugh. And there's just it in a romance book, it also just feels more like a sitcom. I wish there were more sitcoms translated into fiction books, because that is just my bread and butter. And I feel like rom-coms where the people are really funny and families are involved, because this one is a wedding and it involves a rich family. So the guy's family, she's going to spend this wedding time period with them and fake being his wife. That is the closest to a sitcom I could get in a book, so I will take it. The next one is Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young. This one is really high on my radar, and it has been for many months now. I got this book maybe 6 months now, and I got it right after finishing Out on a Limb, which I loved. I read that one back in January. I just thought it was so perfect, so sweet and funny and tender. This one, however, I feel like I'm going to eat up even more. This one is a second chance romance with a couple who is already established, which If you're new here, that is my thing. I love an already established connection, whether it's friends, whether it's exes, whether it's a couple who is literally together and trying to make it work. That is my favorite thing of all time. So I really want to read this. I also had a huge phase back in high school where I was in this hiking club with some of my friends who are still very dear friends to me to this day. We just had such a good time, and it took up, I think, like 5 years of my life. So I have a very soft spot for hiking. So I'm interested to see how it'll be written about and how I will feel about reading about hiking in a book. But yeah, I'm definitely really excited about this, and I should prioritize it. Okay, so the next two that I have, well, actually, I could talk about the last standalone, which is My Friends by Frederick Bachman, who, if you could tell by my shrine, is one of my favorite authors, if not my favorite author. And I'm yet to get my hands on it because I don't want the hardcover. I don't want the hardcover. So when the paperback comes out, I guess I will get myself a copy and read it with immediate effect. But as for right now, we wait. So that one is also maybe number one on my radar. That's the one that I really want to read. Next, we have two sequels to fantasy series that I'm in the middle of. I'm not in the middle of a lot of series, to be honest. I'm not a huge series person, but these two I absolutely loved. I think this one, which is The Inadequate Heir by Danielle L. Jensen, I ate these, well, this is the third book in the series. I ate the first two books up earlier this year, and I don't know why it's taken me. I do know why it's taken me so long. My life has been crazy, and I just haven't had as much time to read as I wish I did. But if I had maybe 3 more months of reading before my life got so crazy, this would have been read. Absolutely. The first book is The Bridge Kingdom, and the second book is The Traitor Queen. But I love both of them. I love The Bridge Kingdom just a little bit more than Traitor Queen, but I'm definitely excited to see where this one goes, and this one is a little bit chunkier than the first two. Whoa! This one is 600 pages, so okay. I guess the story is beefing up at this point, which, fair enough. I'll take it, but that sounds chunky, and I'm sure it's nothing compared to my next book, which is, you have no idea. You have no idea how excited I am for this book. This is The Rag Picker King by Cassandra Clare. I've been waiting patiently, not so patiently, but I have been waiting for this book to come out in paperback for so long. I think this came out in March. We're now in August, and I think I just got my hands on it last week. But I'm really excited about this one. This is a sequel to The Sword Catcher, which follows 2 main characters, but I would say 3. So we follow a doctor who has magical powers. We follow a sword catcher who is basically a body double for the prince, and is basically there to make sure that no harm falls onto the prince. And then we also follow the prince very closely. So I think we have about 3 main characters, and we see how their lives intertwine. That book, The Sword Catcher, was really politically dense, but I loved it. I really loved it, and I think it's the thing that made me realize that I love a political system in fantasy more so than like creatures and stuff. I think that's my type of fantasy, where there is just magic and a political system and people trying to figure it out. That's my kind of thing, you know? So yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. I have no idea where it's going to go, and I can't even remember how the last one ended, but I remember immediately googling when is the next book coming out when it ended. So I'm this one is really, really up there, and I hope to get to this one soon, but this one is also really thick. This one is 553, which sounds like less, but this one is bigger. You see what I mean? Yeah, but regardless, super excited to read that. And those are the books that are on my radar right now. Those are the ones that are at the top of my head. Those are the ones that I want to read so badly, and it's almost like I can't wait to finish what I'm reading right now so I could read something else from the stack. But I'm also loving Divine Rivals so much. I actually started reading it maybe 2 years ago and never finished it, even though I was loving it at the time. But I just got so busy, and then I picked it up, I want to say now, almost 2 weeks ago, and I've just been slowly going through it, but not in a bad way. I think I've just been taking my time with it and consuming it slowly. I've just been really, really enjoying the story so far. So yeah, those are the books that are on my radar right now, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.